Hey guys, this is Dr. MPN here, and today I'm going to talk about the sources that I used during my Neet PG 2025 preparation, and also I was able to make most out of that source and how I use that to my advantage. So, before we start, in case if anybody has not seen the rank transformation video that I had uploaded a couple of days back, kindly see that. I'll be pinning the link in the description as well as chat comment box. Kindly take a look at it. So let's get started. So as I told in my last video, my first serious attempt was Neet PG. In spite of many circumstances and due to many reasons, I couldn't do well in that exam. I still had attended face to face classes. So that's where I'll start off with. I went for DBMCI, that's Bhatia's face to face classes. So because of that, I had the main notes with me of all the subjects, which I had read at least times. I gave at least 3 or 4 revisions of all that, which actually ended up helping me later on, which I'll come to. And the next source is BTR, which I will elaborate on. BTR is a source that I used mainly for NEET PG 2025. That is, I didn't use that for the NEET PG 2024. I used it only for NEET PG 2025. And then the most famous app, Marrow. Even though I've written custom modules, the main purpose for me was through GTs because it is the gold standard when it comes to GTs, and GTs is what I mainly used Marrow for, and obviously for custom modules too. Before I talk about how to make most of BTR as a source, I'm just going to brief upon who should take BTR. I mean, ideally anybody can take BTR. It's not like it's only reserved for a particular candidates, but to whom I would suggest is one, someone who finds consolidating notes difficult. So if you're someone who finds it difficult to consolidate the notes, that is, get every important points of a particular topic at one place, if you find that difficult, I feel that this is the source for you, because ma'am has beautifully compiled all the important points, which includes PYQs and other important points of a particular topic in one place, along with images, relevant images, graphs, tables of classifications, values, name it. So for such students it is very useful, and it's also useful for those students who find revision very exhausting. You know, personally, for me, revision was very exhausting. Ideally, you should be in a position where by the time you start revision and by the time you get your second or third revision, the amount of time that you take for that should be less than your first read or your first revision. But that wasn't the case for me. Before, when I was reading through my face-to-face notes, I took the same time for almost all the revisions, which was shocking and which was very disappointing to say. And I ended up wasting a lot of time. I don't know what the reason was, but how BTR helped me was, since everything was consolidated, I knew exactly what to read, what to look at, and most importantly, what to skip. So, because of that, my revisions were quicker. I started becoming more efficient. I was able to allocate more time for MCQs because I was able to complete my revisions quicker. So, such minute stuff actually play a very important role in your preparation. And I'm sure you will understand the value of time as you go ahead in this journey, because every minute is important. If you're getting at least half an hour extra to solve MCQs, you're essentially doing a revision of a particular topic through those questions, and that stays in your mind. Solving questions stays in your mind much more than reading a topic again and again. If you solve a question and if you get it wrong, it's going to stay there. That image or that value is going to stay in your mind. So, for those students who can't consolidate, and for those students who feel revision is exhausting or they're not able to revise quickly, I would definitely recommend BTR. It's an amazing source. Am has put a lot of hard work into it, and it's not just the notes. The T&D which is included in that is also very useful. I'll elaborate more on that in another video. But otherwise, for other candidates, it's totally up to you whether you want to take it or not. If you've revised your theory from your rapid revision or main notes from the respective platforms very well. And if you're comfortable with it, there is no need of taking BTR as such. You can just focus more on revising those content a couple of. So this picture is basically from my surgery notes of BTR. And what I exactly did was, since I had already done face to face of surgery, I had already finished 2 to 3 revisions of those notes. I was quite comfortable and quite thorough with the notes from Bhatia. So Dr. Jai Arora sir was the faculty from Bhatia. So what I exactly did was, let's take the example of testis itself. So basically this is how BTR operates. This is just an overview I'll give to those guys who have not taken it yet. It's basically compressed. You see this page of testis, and you can see at least 4 to 5 subtopics like painless testicular mass. Under painless testicular mass comes malignancies, more specifically seminoma, and also hydrocele. And then there is undescended testis. There is torsion testis versus epididymoorchitis. So it's all jam packed. Every content is there, but it's jam packed and it's highly compressed and dense. So what I exactly did was, each and every subtopic was made into notes by me during my face-to-face classes. So example, this is painless testicular mass, and ma'am has mainly explained about seminoma from the initial stuff till the staging to the management. But what I did to that was, I incorporated my hydrocele notes into this part. So I'll just zoom in and show it to you guys. So this is the face-to-face notes, where you can see a flowchart approach which is made by Sir Jay Arora sir, and this has both hydrocele and the malignancy workup, which also has the seminoma one, which I've not added in this one. So this is how I made sure that everything was in one page, so that I don't have to go here and there and make it into a complete mess. I wanted each and every topic of a particular heading to be consolidated under one page, so that there is absolute clarity when I move into my revisions. So I made sure that I included hydrocele notes along with the painless testicular mass box which ma'am made here. And if you can see, this is the torsion testis versus epidermoorchitis comparison box, including images. So what I did is, again, I took a photo of torsion and epidermoorchitis notes. I'll just show it to you guys if it's there. Yeah, this is the torsion and epidermoorchitis notes from my notes picture from my main notes. This was also in a tabular form comparison table, along with the, this is a different one. So along with the management, which I didn't add here. So I made sure that I pasted those pictures into my notes, so that this entire box that you can see here has everything with respect to those two topics consolidated in one place. So I have these Doppler images here. I have the LDH, HCG, and AFP values, which I need to remember, which are the cutoffs. And I also made a short note on varicocele here, so that I have everything consolidated in one particular place. So just to relieve the confusion, what I did for BTR was, I didn't get the hard copy notes. I just took the unannotated PDFs from Telegram, and I annotated them in my tablet. Why I did that was because, firstly, if you're using the hard copy notes which are provided, by the time you compress stuff, it's going to look really ugly, and you won't have any mood to study. You're going to lose any interest that you had in the first place. What annotation in tablet does, on the onset it looks kind of ugly, but trust me, when you start studying, when you have everything in one place, which I can zoom and actually read stuff, it makes life much easier. So that's the reason why I annotated in my tablet itself. But there is no compulsion at all. Before BTR, I never used a tablet for any academic purposes, let alone annotation. So hard copy works perfectly fine if you're comfortable with it. But consolidation, having every information in one page of a particular topic, was one of the main reasons actually why I was able to do much better compared to last year. So this is with respect to surgery, and I'll show another example with respect to OBG also. So this is a screenshot of carcinoma cervix notes from OBG BTR. So here you can see ma'am has put a box regarding screening conventional pap smears, whether that's an IR spatula image or a cervical broom image of liquid-based cytology. This is actually the picture from OBG edition 6.5 of Marrow, and I'll tell you why. So in my final year, I did not read Datta or Shaw. I didn't read Datta or Shaw for my exams. I used Sakshi ma'am's edition 4.0 notes because at that time I had seen almost all the videos of OBG, only OBG, not any other subject. So I was kind of accustomed to ma'am's notes and ma'am's format as such. So that is why I used edition 6.5 because I was already comfortable with ma'am's notes and ma'am's points as such. So I did not use Bhatia's notes as such. In fact, I didn't even attend the OBG classes which is scheduled for OBG for I didn't attend the OBG Bhatia classes because I already had these with me. So again, these are basically examples of me showing you how to annotate stuff. Some people might have a confusion regarding how to annotate a BTR, how to add extra information and make it a final source. The whole idea of BTR is not just to read whatever is there and just go and expect yourself to get 150, 160. That's not going to happen. Ma'am herself has told that if you just do BTR and go, you're going to get maximum of 120. Don't expect more than that. The whole idea of annotation is to ensure that you make most of it. Now I have got this carcinoma cervix points, carcinoma cervix work up here, and then this is the pap smear interpretation talking about ASCUS, LSIL, HSIL, AGUS. Basically you're going to understand more when you get to those topics when you study. It basically carcinoma cervix is 5-star topic as far as OBG is concerned, and there is staging also, which I didn't add the image of. So what I did was I was very comfortable with my edition 6.5 notes, and since I was comfortable with those notes, what I exactly did was when the particular page of those topics came in my BTR notes, I mainly ensured that I went through the images that were there in that particular topic. So here I can see these spatula images. I just went through that. This green table telling about the constituents of pap smear. I went through that. Every other point that is mentioned here was anyways covered in my edition 6.5 notes, and all I did was just paste them in the appropriate areas so that I can correlate with what's given there and I don't miss out on anything. Okay, and I'll just give you one last example regarding prolapse. So here you can see this procedentia grading. This is a pop q classification which is again used for prolapse. And then this is the TOT and TVT, transobturator and transvaginal tape, which is used for stress urinary incontinence, SUI. So these three images are there. I just went through these three images, and every other point that is mentioned here were already covered in my edition 6.5 notes, and I had went through them at least twice or thrice. So I was confident. All I needed was that particular page to be in that particular space of my OBGBTR note, so that when I reach that page during my revision, I can quickly go through the edition 6.5 notes, and then after that I can go through any image that is mentioned, that is present in the corresponding BTR notes. So what this exactly does is it saves time. How you have to use BTR to the maximum is one thing which really helped me was ma'am has added all the important images regarding a particular topic in that page. So I don't know how many of you can relate to this, but I, I'm a very lazy guy, and this is one thing which I really struggled in. After I covered my theory, I was very lazy to go through the images of the corresponding topics, and that cost me a lot, and that clearly reflects in the rank that I got last year. So what BTR exactly does is it has almost all the important images in that particular corresponding topic. So all you have to do is be damn sure about your content, because images are covered. You don't have to go to any other particular source and or any other particular folder or something, open that folder, go through that. You just end up saving hundreds of folders and not go through even one of them before the exams. That's the harsh reality. So what PTR exactly does is it keeps every single point of a particular topic in one place, so that a revision of that particular topic will cover that part. You don't have to go back to that for the images or for classifications. No need. Everything is here. If you have read that topic from another place more than once, and if you're very confident in that topic, all you've got to do is take a screenshot or take a photo and just paste it in the corresponding area, so that for those particular topics you can just go through that. You can just do a quick revision and then go through stuff which are not mentioned in your notes in the BTR, or you can just refer to the photos. Or what I would say is, if someone who is just using BTR for the first time, go through BTR properly. Just ma'am tells herself to that ma'am herself has told that you have to see the BTR videos at least twice. So see the BTR video at least twice. Go through every text that is given in the notes. Start solving questions. When you solve questions, you'll come across stuff which you may find extra. It's not covered in my BTR notes. It's something extra. So at that time, what you have to do is, if you have a rapid revision notes of any platform, just go through that and see if the topic from which the question was asked is covered in your rapid revision or no. If it is, then you have to study that topic and annotate that topic into your BTR notes, whether it is digitally or it's in your hard copy notes. That's up to you, but you have to annotate that. Okay, so these are the two ways. Either if you have already covered it, you paste it into your BTR notes, or if you're just doing BTR, do BTR first, solve the questions. You're going to come across many questions where you may say that it's not there in your BTR notes. For that, you have to annotate them into your BTR. So essentially what you're doing through this is you're consolidating everything into one source. How this works is, once you have prepared this one source for each and every 19 subjects, your next revisions tend to be much quicker and much more efficient. Because suppose I'm reading anesthesia. Okay, not anesthesia. Okay, let's talk about something very more important. Like, okay, let's just stick to OBG or surgery. I'm going through surgery. Once I'm done with BTR plus the annotated stuff that you've taken from your rapid revision or your main notes, you're essentially done with BTR, and you're done with main notes, and you're done with the subject as such. You have absolute clarity in that, and you don't have to go anywhere else. You just have to solve the questions. You just have to go through your PYQs, and that's it. You're done. How this helps is in the last 10 days revision. You know that in the last 10 days before the exam, you have to quickly flip through all the 19 subjects. So in that case, how this helps is, you have everything here. You have to eyeball the notes for those last 10 days. Eyeballing in the sense, quick scanning. You're not going to do active recall, you're going to do a passive recall. So you're going to quickly flip through the notes. At that time, when you have every information in one place, you can scan through all those informations quickly, instead of reading BTR for the so and so topics and then go into my main notes for some other topic. That's going to consume a lot of time, and trust me, you're not going to have time for all such bullshit. You have to have everything consolidated in one place and read that multiple times. Again, I think this is something which Dr. Aditya has told. You are consolidating the information into one khichdi, and you have to revise that khichdi multiple times. And that's how to make that khichdi is exactly how I've shown you here. How to annotate them and how to revise them multiple times, so that you become thorough. Once you're thorough with your content, you just have to focus on your MCQ. So I hope you got an insight as to how to use BTR effectively for those who have taken it or are planning to take it. In my next video, I'll discuss about the mistakes that I made during my preparation. I think it is a very important video, because as someone who was get his desired rank as NEET PG 2026 aspirants, you guys don't end up making those basic errors in your preparation, and hopefully crack it in your first go or for your second go, whatever it is. So till then, I'll see you guys. Bye.